seem to be very light. But when there's a strong identification, the character may seem to be very strong. Everything is taken seriously. These things, doubts, fears, and everything is strong. But when it is seen that it's all just an expression of this, I think it's taken seriously because it's seen as just a play. It's just a play. And nothing is trying to get rid of what seems to be happening or what seems to be the story. Because, the story itself, it comes from nothing, which is already everything. So it's also another expression. This may seem to engage in a story, may seem to talk, respond, doesn't really matter. So playing around with concepts is just what's happening as well. So there's already nobody looking out from those eyes. And the eyes don't see.
Say more about that. The eyes don't see.
Have you seen maybe one of the sun when have you ever seen a son sleeping while the eyes are open, or somebody in the family,
Yes.
and you go there and you try to, there's no movement, but the eyes are open.
Christ said, "Forgive them, for they cannot see." Right?
Yeah, that's which sees is not the eyes. It's it is just it can never be seen, it can never be known, can never be understood. That which sees is it doesn't have any gender. But there may seem to be a story as a result of the knowledge in the memory. They seem to say, I'm a man, I see. It claims to be the seer, the knowledge in the story, in the memory, claims to be the seer. I'm a man, I'm the one who sees. Comes after, but the seeing itself doesn't say anything. It's not saying this. It's just there.
To a certain extent, don't we project our own reality? But it's the illusory self that projects its own reality.
Yeah, it may seem like that. But the illusory separate self as well is also an expression of this, which is vastness. spaciousness, expressing its depth, projecting its own reality. According to uh, the knowledge that was accumulated over the apparent years.
Right. I think of it like a model, you know. I guess that probably doesn't have any meaning to you. I mean, you know about artificial intelligence, right?
Yeah,
Uses
yeah,
stuff with artificial intelligence. They just shove a lot of information at the computer. It's like more information than a person could ever uh, accumulate in a lifetime. And they ask questions, and the computer finds patterns and brings it back, right? So it's sort of an input output model, right? Put all this stuff in, and then stuff comes out based on what was put in. And as each of us are these kind of models based on what the models have been fed, right? Your experience is very different than mine growing up in Africa, right? It's just very different crap was shoved down your throat. Crap nonetheless, for sure, but just very different stuff.
yeah,
And there's temperament, right? And there's gender and all this other stuff. Time and place, mother and father. So all of that informs the model, but the model is somewhat automatic. Well, the model is automatic, right? The circumstances and everything that it plays with, and the boundaries between it, as you point out, are arbitrary, right? It lives in this vast sea of information, and it's just spitting out what was shoved into it, essentially, with the illusion of decisions and personality and identity and ego coming out the other end of the model.
yeah.
To me, the only way to break that is to make space for it and realize that you're not the model, you know, which is what this conversation is about. But I know that the reason I'm interested in this is because I know enough to know that once you see that it's a model, then you can control the model to have a better outcome. That you can escape, or you can see the patterns of the input output model and pare down and toss away that which is not useful. So to me, spirituality for so many years was practical.
Hmm.
But this kind of turns it all upside down. It's it's not practical. That's not the purpose of it. Can be, it's part of this. Can't argue with this, et cetera, et cetera. I can hear you now. But at the same time, that's not it, because that's all just more meta input output model. And that there's something else. There's the seeing, there's the being the seeing, and there's love. It's not goal oriented, or that's not it's not a it's not a improvement plan. It's not a self improvement plan. But for decades, for me, it was. I wanted to be the best person I could be. Why wouldn't I want that? And I knew that, you know, that was my best chance at that. To me, that was, wasn't about making money or wasn't about status or whatever. It was about that spirituality was a portal to being a good person. So it's all kind of gone by the wayside, I guess.
Mm.
I mean, it's still better than, being on drugs and being in the street, but that's not really what it's about.
Mm. Somehow this this vastness, which is already everything, somehow it may seem to love uh, display of being somebody, living life, going through this and that. It may seem to enjoy, you know, it's really enjoying the journey of really trying to find uh, itself, playing, pretending to lose itself, and going back on a journey of finding itself. It loves it. It's just a play. It's not. It's not to be taken seriously. It's a play. I'm sorry. It's exactly like a dream when you're dreaming, and when you wake up, the realization that it was just a dream. Sometimes you do wake up in the dream while dreaming, still dreaming. Wake up and realize in the dream that this is just a dream. The body is sleeping. So there may be as well a waking up in this dream, realizing in this dream that this is just a dream, but there's nobody waking up here. That's the difference. There's just waking up. There's just recognition. That's all. It's all just this. So nothing matters. The attempt to change the story may not even arise. The attempt to change, to control things may just be allowed to be as they are. Because, this is indestructible. This is, this can never go away. This is, you know, this does not die. This is bedless, deadless. So the attempts to control doesn't arise.
Yeah.
It's an illusion.
Where would you put it?